Welcome to Pearls for Parkinson's. Here is this week's daily living tip. Welcome back. Today we're talking about low blood pressure in Parkinson's and talking about devices and garments that can be used to help sustain your blood pressure. Some of you have tried and are familiar with TED stockings. And TED stockings are something that you get when you go into the hospital because you've been sitting for a period of time, and we worry about blood clots and low blood pressure when you're a bit more sedentary. The idea is that you compress those veins and get that blood that might be pooling back up to your heart and also to your brain to sustain your blood pressure and prevent blood clots. So you can purchase TED stockings at durable medical equipment stores. It's important to get your calves measured for these because if they're not the right strength, then they won't work appropriately. So I know they can be difficult to get on. So if you have help with that, that is wonderful. If not, there are some sock devices that can make it easier to actually get them on. You basically put the stocking on the scoop, and it basically goes onto your foot, and then you can pull them up more easily. But they really do work, especially if you're suffering from low blood pressure, and it's better than taking medications. So the second thing is you can use what are called sequential stockings, and sequential stockings are also used in hospitals. They're the ones that wrap around the leg, and then there's air that's pumped through them, and it basically gives your legs a gentle massage. And that can be really useful if you tend to have very low blood pressure, especially in the morning. And you get this gentle massage while you're in bed sleeping, or say you're sitting back in a recliner a lot. It's smart to put the sequential stockings on there too. And that helps keep the blood moving so that there's not such a shock to the system when you go to get up. The other thing you can do when getting up from bed is to make sure that you rise slowly and make sure that you're sitting on the edge of the bed for a couple of minutes. In our first episode, I talked about baroreceptors in your body that are sluggish with Parkinson's disease. So you have to give your body time to adjust when you change positions. And so when you get up in the morning, or when you get up out of a recliner and you go to sit up, stay there for a minute. Don't just take off for the bathroom because your blood pressure is going to drop and it'll bring you down. So we don't want any falls. So in a recliner, you can also use those pedals you can put on the floor that you can pedal and move your feet more often. Do that during commercials. And it's a good idea to try to get up more often. The more sedentary you are, the lower the blood pressure gets. That's a good thing to keep in mind. If you're traveling in a car long distance, you might want to make sure you can stop and get out and move every half hour. You don't want to be sitting there for long periods of time if you struggle with low blood pressure, because when you do go to get out of the car, and it's really hard to change positions in a car, your blood pressure is going to drop and you're going to pass out. So another tip is when you are laying in bed, you can use what's called a wedge pillow. Wedge pillows increase the incline of the bed by about 6 to 8 inches, which is about 10 to 20 degrees. And that also makes it to where it's not quite as big of an adjustment when you go to get up. And there's not as much pooling of the blood, so that can help with low blood pressure. Another tip is you can wear what's called an abdominal binder. It's kind of like a belly band. It's an elastic band that Velcros around you under your chest and above your hips. And you wear this during the day to help compress the blood that pools in the core, and it pumps it back up to the heart and up to the brain as well. I hope you find these tips useful, and you tune in next week for more Pearls for Parkinson's. The Wisconsin Parkinson Association is a grassroots organization funded by people like you. To support more local programming like this, visit wiparkinson.org.